So let's say you're gonna call these employers on Google, right? What do you do? What do you say once you get on the phone? So, let me erase this here. Once you get on the phone with them, I'm going to give you a list of questions and you want to ask them in this order, okay? Number 1, I was wondering if you were hiring right now. Number 2, what positions do you have open? Number 3, how do I apply? Number 4, and this is the most important question. Once I apply, who should I follow up with? These 4 questions, and you just ask them over and over and over again, will get you exactly what you need. Well, I guess number 5 we can put up here too. What's the best way to contact them? What's the best way to reach them? Sometimes I like to say, are they more of a phone person or an email person, right? Because some people, you try to call them on the phone, they will never answer, but they'll lickety-split respond to an email. Some people, vice versa, they're in email jail, so it's better to call them. You can find out. Normally, when you're on this question here, they'll say, hey, just call back to this number and ask for them. That happens, 80% of the time. But the other 20, they'll give you a more specific way to reach them. So why did I make number 4 like that? And I'll tell you in a moment. So I'm just, again, going through the phone. And so Jamie, let's pick you, and we're going to go to the deaf agency or deaf school, right? So I'm calling these different deaf agencies up. Ring, hey, how are you doing today? Oh, great. Hey, I was wondering if you can help me out. Are you guys hiring right now? And they're going to say one of 2 things. Well, one of 3 things. They're going to say yes, or no, or we're always taking applications. How many times have you heard we're always taking applications? A lot, right? Oh yeah, just drop off your resume. We're always taking applications. Now, when they say that, they're meaning one of 2 things. They're meaning like, hey, we're not hiring right now, but just come on by. Or they're meaning like, yeah, we're hiring, just come on by. So what you do is you follow up with a question like, if they say we're always taking applications, say this. Great, so what positions do you have open? At that point in time, they're like, oh, we don't have any right now, but it's always a good idea to drop off your resume. At that point in time, you be polite, but remember your time is so valuable and dropping off applications and doing resumes takes up so much time, you can't do that. You never drop off a resume, you never do an application unless there's an actual position open. You don't have enough time for that. So you lose quickly. That's another little term I like to use. What I mean by lose quickly is don't waste your time on things that are gonna consume you. You wanna get through all the no's so you can get to a good yes. It's like prospecting. A lot of people who like they're looking for gold, they're just digging through all the dirt, all the rubble. Okay, oh, there's the thing that's valuable. You gotta get through all the bad stuff so you can make sure you can find the yeses, all right? So don't waste your time on things that don't actually have a job opening, all right? So if they say, oh yeah, we're hiring for XYZ, great. How do I apply? Then they're gonna say, oh, you're gonna go online and go blah, 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 blah. Or they're going to say, hey, come on in, fill out an application and whatnot, right? Now here's the kicker. This is where everybody stops. Everyone's like, okay, I'm going to go apply, thank you. Hardly anyone asks this question. Once I apply, who should I follow up with? More often than not, most companies are going to, most people you're talking to on the phone are going to say something like, oh, well, you should follow up with Sally. Or Dave's doing the hiring for that right now. Great, thank you. And you're going to write that down. You're also going to write down who you spoke with on the phone. And then you're going to say, what's the best way to reach them? And like I said earlier, you probably just call this number back, ask for them. But sometimes they'll give you a phone number or an email. It's this question right here that separates the wheat from the chaff. This gives you the ability to, again, be in the driver's seat. Because now you can call back and ask for this person versus just putting your application in. They haven't called me yet. Do they like me? Am I worth hiring? Man, I don't know. You know what? Never mind, right? Like you don't want to do that. You want to be in the driver's seat, so you're going to call back, hey, I was wondering if Sally's there. Great. Hi, Sally. I was talking with Steve on the phone, and he said that you guys were hiring for an XYZ position. Yes, that's right. Great. And he told me that you're the person to follow up with on that. Sure. Oh, yeah, I actually already did my application. I was giving you a call to see when would be a good time to get together. That's simple, right? Wash, rinse, repeat. Call them back, reference who you talked to, make sure that they're the one hiring for this position, and then ask them very chill, very relaxed, hey, when would be a good time to get together? Don't say anything like, I'd like to set up my interview now, or something very like mechanical, robotic, or formal. Just keep it really relaxed. Hey, when would be a good time to talk? And you'd be surprised. It doesn't happen every time, but a significant percentage of the time, like, hey, why don't you come in next Tuesday? When's good for you? Blah, 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 right? Yes, sir.
What if they don't give you a name to follow up with?
That's a good question, right? So let's say you get down to here, how do I apply, blah, 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 but they don't give you a name, don't apply. Even if they're hiring. Unless it's your dream job, like you really, really want to be at that place, so it's worth the risk, it's worth the time gamble. But 90% of the time it's not. So don't waste your time. If they're not willing to play ball, then that puts you back in the passenger seat. And you might as well just be flipping applications online on Indeed and wasting your time and never getting a job. This right here, don't sell yourself short. There is a company out there that wants to hire you, that's willing to work with you, that will give you the answers to these questions. You just have to do enough work to find them.